Believe it or not, the Z3 behind me was introduced 20 years ago in 1995. This one behind me, the 2000 facelift version. So, is it a used sports car classic? Let's find out. Well, in terms of its shape, I think it stood the test of time very well indeed. Revised in 2000, it's a bit more rounded and muscular looking. Nice. The L-shaped headlights and slightly bigger bulges around the wheels are one easy way to tell that this is the facelift version. I thought it was a great shape back then, and I still do. It's a classic, sporty convertible. Nice job, BMW. It's a minimalistic interior, but polished and sporty as well. I like the sporty red leather seats. They look great, and they're also comfortable and supportive too, which is of course more important. And also, these wood accents here. Very nice. The seats are actually power controlled, and you get a little tray right next to you on the left. Straight behind you in the center is the control for the convertible top. A bit of storage here, 2 cup holders right here, and additional storage right here. Even the handbrake is covered in leather and wood. Nice. Hazard lights here, controls for the power windows here, and the wood M shifter here. 5-speed and reverse. You get a cigarette lighter, controls for the heated seats, an analog clock, also controls for the air conditioning and air recirculation. Here's where you can turn a traction control off, which I don't recommend. The rest of the ventilation controls are straightforward, and you get a Harman Kardon BMW stereo with cassette. You also get an M logo on the steering wheel, plus a big BMW emblem too. Gauges are simple and straightforward. Gas gauge, speedometer, tachometer, and temperature gauge. On the right there's a cruise control lever, and controls for your wipers here. Flashers and lights here, plus lights there as well. On the door there's a bit of storage and an ashtray as well. Here's where you can control the outside mirrors. As I said before, Spartan, but very sporty and luxurious too. I really like the way the red leather mixes with the silver exterior. In the trunk, you can see you've got a tonneau cover. The battery is underneath, but there's actually respectable cargo room for maybe even more than a weekend getaway. Powering the Z3 2.3 is a 2.5-liter inline 6 that makes 181 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPMs and 170 horsepower at 5,500 RPMs. That's good for a 0 to 60 time of about 7.5 seconds. Fuel economy is rated at 17 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. You can expect 19 miles per gallon overall. I can actually still remember right when the BMW Z3 came out in the mid-90s. GoldenEye was about to come out, the James Bond film, and he was going to drive it. It was that light blue version, and it was just such a cool looking car. I remember, we already had the Miata and that sort of thing, so the Roadster revival was definitely full on. But the Z3 gave it a new spin. It gave it that German sportiness, that German reliability. BMW is of course legendary for their sports cars like the 507, which you can see a family resemblance on, maybe more in the Z8, but this one still looked amazing. I remember it was just so exciting. In fact, they sold 15,000 of them even before it was released, and that's because of the movie. Another great thing about the Z3 was that it's made in America, down in South Carolina. So that was a great thing for America, and this car was just very exciting, and it had all the right things that you want. Competition comes from the likes of the Miata, which really has a great feeling shifter, and also the Mercedes SLK, but that tends to be, I think, a chick car, certainly more of a chick car than this one. Some people consider the Z3 a chick car, but I don't think so. It's got that old James Bond image, and that's good enough for me. Also, you have the Honda S2000. That's a very nice sports car too, very high revving,
9,000 RPM engine, but really I think this one is the great all-around choice. The Miata is not as quick, and I think the Mercedes is more of a chick car. This is a true driver's car.
Like the Miata and the S2000, this one combined all the elements of a true sports car. Rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, if you wanted it equipped that way, and of course, the Roadster convertible top. All those elements make the Z3 here a great sports car and a great roadster too. And thanks to the heated seats, you can really keep the top down all year round as long as you dress appropriately. Checking out the Z3's night look. It's got a majorly red glow to it. Not usually a fan of red, but this is a bit orange almost, and for some reason it doesn't bother me too much. When the roads get twisty, the BMW Z3 is ready. I like how you got that nice long view over the snout of the Z3, and I like the way the suspension is extremely compliant, very sporty, and it just hugs the turns really, really well. It's a joy to drive on a road like this, and it's quite quick. It's not a super speed demon, but it's very respectable, and it has a good top speed too in the 130s. So you never feel that you're lacking power. It's actually the perfect combination of speed and handling. You can get the car loose, you can play with it, and you can explore its limits much better than you can a much quicker car, like even the Z3M, which back in the day was actually the quickest BMW available and the fastest one ever. All Z3s got a facelift in 2000, including my test car here. It got BMW's dynamic stability control, which replaced the automatic stability control. The taillights were now curved and rounded with the L shape, and the trunk release button has an indent to make it easier to open. It also has a wider axle. The third brake light on the trunk is now more upright to make it easier to see, and there's halos around the headlights defined in chrome, plus the grille is slightly rounder and exposes less chrome. Inside, the buttons in the center console have been rearranged, and the clock is placed in the center instead of being on the side. The insulation for the convertible top also has 3 layers instead of 1 for better insulation and weather protection. Facelift cars also had optional side airbags. The Z in Z3 actually means Zukunft, which is future in German, and I can definitely see a bright future for used Z3s like this one. In terms of pricing for used Z3s, they basically range in price from a couple $1,000s to older models that maybe have very, very high mileage to about $15,000 for the normal non-M cars. The M cars go for more than that.
If you want one, I think now is a good time to buy them. They're cheap, and I think values can only stay the same or go up.
I think they're definitely a sports car bargain. You really do get a lot for your money. They really are a great all-around sports car roadster convertible, offering great handling, great comfort, reliability. It's a great looking and very fun to drive sports car, and that's what it's all about. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'm Drivin Ivan.